Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Calvin Bridges again, coming to you with the American Survival List, Crucial List, whatever you want to call it. Haven't figured out a name for it yet. Yeah, some type of name. Oh yeah, okay, here we go. It's known as the American Citizen Survival System. Okay, I need to write that down somewhere. The American Citizen Survival System. Okay, now this is a 55 crucial list, a list of 55 things, preparation that you need. Okay, there are countless survival preparation items, preps, that you can store ahead of time before potential disasters, or with government shutdowns, of course. We got to include that in there. For the use of during and after the emergency or disaster. Let's face it. While the government's sitting up there debating about things, we as American citizens need the American Citizen Survival System. We can't do what the government do, right? They just go home and have it made. They got it prepared. That's why they were stocking up with food, surviving for themselves. Thought about the American people, didn't they? Shame, isn't it? And these are the following 55 preparation items or categories, which is a randomly list. And not all the items here is all exclusive, in any way. Again, make this list fun, guys. It's intended to be fun. It's creative, you know what I'm saying? Don't go out there and barricade yourself in your home, This is to get you thinking outside the box about your own needs for preparation, Instead of you sitting around waiting for something to happen, you'll be prepared, And please, guys, don't be listening to those Jehovah's Witnesses or anyone else knocking on your door telling you don't you even worry about such a thing. Last time we had the catastrophes, a lot of people really needed the Blue Cross, the Red Cross, and Salvation Army, right? So I'm not saying that, not to listen, read your Bible, stay in God's Word. Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior, as if you're a Christian, okay? No offense if you're not, okay? Great. Let's just get started with this list here. Number one is toilet paper and other sanitation items such as Vermeer, hygiene products, diapers for infants, etc. There are items that should be masked or stored if possible. It's paper towels. Two, there's many to use to mention. Store as many as you can. And there's coffee filters for those that drink coffee, of course. But there are excellent filters for other purposes as well. So you got to think about it. You might have filthy water or something like that, need purified or something like that, or any other thing for that matter. Trash bags, all sizes, of course. You only need that. You can also store many free plastic garbage bags from the store every time. Let's face it, you need them. I'm saying, I'm not going to go over there. Important for bagging up and refusing and for refuse and prevent diseases. So, it comes in handy. There's Ziploc type freezer bags. Lots of uses with that too. There are coolers, various sizes. If you have room, that is to say, need a cooler. Everybody needs a cooler. Who don't need a cooler? Let's face it. What I'm saying? Even a small cooler, everyone needs one. You can be used to keep things cool and cold, well, we already know that, but also used to keep items from freezing in very cold temperatures. So I don't know if you knew that now, so that comes in handy there. You can put things in your cooler and in a cold spot, it won't freeze on up. Shovel, all sizes for the gardening types, for those for digging, and very important to have after a disaster, especially it's mud and stuff like that. You know, I don't get into detail. There's soap and cleansing, cleansers, sponges and other, scratchy pads. You're likely not to going to have a dishwasher after a disaster. So let's face it, you're going to have to use go back to basic traditions. Many youths got too modernized out here, so soap and cleansers and sponges and scratchy pads and stuff like that. And you have to some means of cleansing, cleansing pots and pans and dishes, cleaning them. There's cotton, cotton rounds, first aid. You're gonna need that. Excellent fire starter, by the way. You mix it with Vaseline. You know what I'm saying? That's an excellent fire starter. When you got cotton and Vaseline, so that really flammable, by the way, and you don't have to worry about rubbing sticks together and stuff like that. There's paper to write on, that include notepads, index cards, there's pencils and pen and pencils, especially the click pencil type that you don't need to shopping. That comes in handy. Who wants to go around searching for a sharpener? There's rubber bands. They also included with hair bands used to keep items organized and from flying apart. It's tape, all kinds of duct tape, masking tape, electrical tape to scotch tape, many uses, sewing kits, threads, needles, buttons, zippers. You're gonna need them. You never know. There's little clothes that you need to sew up things, etc., etc., etc. Matches, keep them dry. Store lots of matches. Again, I said in my earlier video, 37, crucial things about mason jars. This is an excellent thing to put your matches in. It's a flood or something. Those matches will stay dry. You know that. Okay, there's salt. You might want to tape around, by the way, when we go back to those mason jar, you might want to tape around it with that little duct tape there, because the water might seep in a little, but not too much. But it helps. Oh yeah, with salt, you won't believe in certain areas how hard it is to get salt necessary, the minerals for survival. You'll need two types of salts, guys. You're gonna need iodine and non-iodine. Now let me get this straight. When it's canning, you need non-iodine. When you need for your diet, it's iodine. Your thyroids. You don't want to whack out with some whacked out thyroids. That'll really mess you up. Okay. There's aluminum foil wraps. It's good for cooking and many other items. There's candy, all sizes. Not only for light at night. Oh well. Sorry guys, not candy, that's candles, that is. Candles, all sizes of candles, lights at night. I use pretty much LED lights, but let's face it, you might not have batteries, you know what I'm saying? So I might run out. Little candles come in handy. Again, the cotton and the Vaseline and the matches. You see how all this come together? You light it. Light the candles, keep it around so you won't get tons of candles, okay? You can use it. The heat, small items up in small cooking ware. Think about that. Now, if you don't have a stove or something like that, you can take little bits and pieces of twigs and leaves and stuff, and you got the candle there, you got the matches, you got the Vaseline, you got the cotton. So you see how all this come together? Survival. You know what I'm saying? Can opener. Without many of these, you'll have a bad time. Let's face it, guys. You have that now. Get yourself a real good can opener, okay? Those dollar store can openers, I tell you, man, they never last. I always had problems with those dollar store can openers. Okay, great. We're almost halfway through this list here. It's basic tools. There's hammers, there's screwdrivers, there's saws, axes, utility knives, scissors, anything extra that you can store from your tool chest. You know, it's a little toolbox or something. You don't have that, a little plastic container with a lid you can put all that stuff in. You know, hit the dollar stores, guys. There's a lot of stuff out there. You know, you don't have to go on the Lowe's and Home Depot and sell Sears or anything like that. You can go get some. You just get a lot of tools from the dollar store. Okay, there's handyman hardware assortments you need. Assortment of screws, nuts, bolts, wire, nails, etc. Gee, it sounds familiar to the last list almost. Stored in clear jars with lids. You know, you see how those mason jars, I spoke about them in the last video, how they come in handy, or original, in original packages. By the way, you know, you can put them in there, store them. You know, you can keep them in the original packages, so you can take them out. That's your choice. You know, that's 5-gallon gas can container. Well, you know, comes in handy. You know what I'm saying? It comes in handy. These can be used for gas or other fuels as well as for water. As for water that are durable. Obviously never use for drinking water. You know, if they ever been seen they use for gas, well, you know, gas and water don't mix anyway. You know, let's face the reality out there. You'll need round magnified glass used to see small items. Optical glass is best. Well, guys, I'm just going through this list. This list is like, you know, lengthy here. I'm trying to detail it as much as possible. Start a fire, you know, basically the magnifying glass you can use to start fires and stuff like that. You got envelopes, you know, what the heck, envelopes? All sizes for storage, small. Oh yeah, for seeds. Yeah, you can put for seeds and stuff like that. I'll never think about that. You know, that's a good idea. You know, you'll still want to use those mason jars like I told you about. You don't want to get those seeds wet. You know, they'll start germinating. You want to keep them in a dry spot, and those envelopes come in handy. So you see how that all comes together. You know, tough pouches, envelopes. And guys, you don't need to go out there and buy them. You know, you can dollar store you hit, but you can also hit the post office. They got plenty of them. Even the hospitals with its postal service, pick a few of them up and stuff like that. Little tips, so you know, that's what I do sometimes. There's also boxes. You know, you can hit the supermarkets and any other places, just retail stores that people always throwing boxes out. So, you know how expensive boxes are. You know, you get the grocery stores and stuff like that. Save yourself some money. Also, large plastic boxes. You know, just when you go to Macy's or Sears and you say, hey, look, I'm looking to collect 100 boxes, shoe boxes or something, you know, boxes. You know, anywhere you go, you can get boxes. So you don't need to go and spend a lot of money on boxes. Yeah, I see people going out there spending money all the time on boxes. The shoelaces. People, you know, have shoes that are still wearable and need shoelaces. And shoelaces are also good for tying off materials with other things. You know, that comes in handy. Dollar store, please. You know, I'm not so comfortable about using other people's shoelaces, you know, contamination and stuff. If you do, wash it, bleach, you know, washing powder. So, okay, there's paper plates, you know, let's face it, if there's a disaster, you know, you're not going to go to your cupboard and all that stuff like that. Those plastic plates, that's where Ziploc bags come in handy too, you know, seal them up in there. The plastic plates, plastic eating utensils, disposable drinking cups, if you can store enough, you know, excellent way to save your soap supply, but not having it to wash for the dishes, you know. Let's face it, you know, you got to conserve. There's also blankets, sheets, pillows, pillowcases. You know, just because you are in an emergency, it does not mean that you have to live like a hermit. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can live comfortable. You want to live comfortable as much as possible. You know, you want to have that. You got to make yourself comfortable. You know, all these towels, all sizes, from hand to baths. You'll be very grateful that you'll be able to dry yourself off and with something you're used to. Here's the thing about that, guys. You can hit the dollar store. Again, don't get fancy with these boutique stores and all these JC Penney's and Sears and all that. Hit the dollar stores. Save money. There's fishing lining and strings. Lots of uses you can use for that. There's nylon ropes and cords and clothing lines that do not be without. Yes, don't leave home without it and stuff like that. We know that. There's toothbrushes, dental needs, dental floors. Even without toothpaste, you can still keep your teeth healthy. Please, you don't want to lose your teeth. It's a heartache when you do. You know what I mean? And if you got diabetes, it's really a heartache. So you want to keep your teeth strong. And it's a heartache. So it's a painful heartache because diabetes runs strong in my family. So you want to keep your teeth strong. There's Q-tips. There's cotton swabs. Not only for personal use, but used for fine detailed work. Well, I'm an artist. Okay. You can use it for other works as well. Okay. It's honey. It lasts practical forever, and it's good. It's a good sweetener for many food. For those that have a sugar tooth and you need to sweeten things out, please pass the sugar. And it is trigger. It's a trigger spray bottle used to dispense insect repellent as well as for many use. There's also first aid kit. Most items such as bandages, gauze, tweezers, nail clippers, scissors, wrapping tape, etc. can be stored without rotating. Keep more first aid supplies than you can think. Because they can get used up very quickly. Okay, great. This gauze is 4x4, or 4x4, and 2x2. For changing dressing. There was a time that my legs opened up. I had lipedema, I had leg wounds, and God knows I had to use a whole ton of those things. That's a whole different chapter there. And I had healed my own legs, but that's a whole. Doing another video on that, how to heal leg wounds, diabetic wounds, all kind of wounds and stuff, so you don't lose your legs. Okay, great. There's fire starters and newspapers. Yes, newspapers for starting fires, wrapping delicate items, insulation, keeping them dry, and preferable in sealed boxes. You know what I'm saying? You see how all this come together? You know what I'm saying? That you might have some valuable things, delicate things or food or anything, you put them in the bottle or any clothes or whatever, and keep it in the, you keep it in the boxes. You get the box that you put the newspaper in, wrap the stuff, then you put them in the garbage bags, wrap and seal that, put that in the shoe boxes or boxes and tape it up so flood happens or whatever. It could be anything you put in. It could be clothes, food, or whatever. But if flood happened, those boxes will float. But guess what? Inside those boxes, when you open it up, it's wrapped up in plastic, sealed up. Inside the plastic, wrapped up in newspaper. Boom. It's like everything's sealed, so they don't get contaminated. Guys, this is all about survival here, because you don't ever know when things will happen. Okay? You want to be prepared. So I know it sounds like a lot, but when you get used to it, rehearse this list, go over it in your mind. It's not really a lot, Again, we got safety pins, fastening with almost anything that is broken. Bobby pins also is good. Sunglasses, you will really need to protect your eyes after an emergency. Glares that is sometimes that people forget about, and if they, if you're looking outside at the doors of sunlight and stuff like that, you can mess your eyes up. Sunglasses, you can get them from the dollar store. All the stuff I'm speaking about, a lot of it you can get from the dollar store, or you can get the hunting stuff from the fishing and hunting location in you know, Lowe's and Home Depot and places like that, or even warehouses, wholesale warehouse like Costco's and Sam's Club and, you know, BJ's and Walmart, you know, whatever your choice is, you know, your local stores, you know, look around, okay? Get to know your neighborhood. You know, there's also hats, one size fit all baseball caps, scarves, skis, caps, lots of heat to, you know, keep your head warm. You know, you don't want to lose heat, you know, especially if it's winter time. Also sunburns, you know, you want to wrap your head, you know, if you're in hot areas and stuff like that, you know. You know, not saying go out and be a nomad or anything. There's gloves, so it's important for keeping your hands warm, to protect your hands from hazards such as broken glass and things. Because, you know, when a disaster hits, there's all kinds of dangerous stuff. You want to have tons of gloves for your families. Everybody got gloves. Everybody got hats, you know. You got sunglasses, you know. Let's face it, if you got a tornado or flood or, you know, anything can happen. You just never know when things will happen. There's extra clothes that you need, you know. Again, that's where I spoke about those boxes. You got the plastic bags, you can put them in, you wrap it up, you tape it in the boxes. If the boxes are found in your house floating, but at least they're dry inside, so that you got nice clean clothes, you know what I'm saying? Extra clothes. You see how all this come together, especially well-made rugged pants and other clothes that will, you can wear well. Don't forget the extra comfortable shoes and socks and underclothes and warm jackets. You know, guys, don't go for a fashion statement. You know what I'm talking about? In a survival mode. You know what I'm saying? Hit the thrift shops, hit the Goodwills. You know what I'm saying? We're talking survival here. We're not talking a fashion show. Oh, again, there's small handheld mirrors for signaling, but also for personal grooming. There's clothes, grocery, tote bags, reusable, a very good way of collecting things and supplies such as food from the wild. You know, oh yeah, you know, clothes, grocery, tote bags, you know, hey, you know, animals love to eat things, and you definitely want to seal those babies out, because you're going to get them out there. You know, there's staplers with plenty of staples, you know, that comes in handy. Also paper clips to seal off small items and fasten paper. Your packages of survival seeds, you know, hello. You know, sometimes people say, what? Why do I need a staple? Staple somebody? No. You need those envelopes. You put the seeds in, you staple them, you put them in a Ziploc bag or something, seal it up. Put it inside a mason jar, seal it up, tape it. You want to keep these things dry. You're going to need them. Okay? You're going to need them. I mean, I might be just going a little too far with it about all that sealing up, but let's face it. Have you ever seen floods? Have you ever seen tornadoes? You see what they can do. Some pretty good damage. Okay, great. We got extension cords. You know, well, you know, you might say, well, I need extension cord. Might not have no electricity, right? You may actually still have electricity. You might have a generator. You know, you got to think about those things, you know. From some sources, like a generator, solar panel system, you know, routing power to other appliances and tools, you know, that you can actually use. You know, you just never know that you're gonna need things, you know, like use for substituting light duty style rope. You know, let's face it, everybody needs a generator or some solar panel. That's one of the biggest mistakes. I don't know if you remember a while back when the 3 states were cut out with power. Oh, how people suffered dearly. Even though the lights came back on. But those who were well prepared didn't have a problem. Generators went up big time after that. Okay, there's brushes from nails, paint, to hair brushes. One good use for the hairbrush is for the removal of tricks and fleas and blur and from clothes. You can use so much use with hairbrushes. There's so much use you can use it for it. That's an essential tool for survival. Okay, there is also tape measures, measuring tools, rulers. Very important to know the distance and the measurements of buildings, etc. There's games. People get bored. You got kids, you got people, they get bored. You can play games, a simple card deck, board game, something to take up your time if confirmed, confined after an emergency. Great for the kids too, let's face it, you want to keep them good. So you might not have use for those video games that you're going to need to use your energy for other sources. Electricity, as speaking of your battery power or whatever. Survival books, take the time to study them. Go to the library, go to Barnes and Noble, or sit down, or a bookstore, or a cafe or something, and read up on them. Get educated. Anything that will give you information, instruction on survival, cooking, plant identifications, map, books. Your bookcase may not be around after a disaster. Store information you will need someday. This is, again, you stored that information in your mind. You'll have it. Maybe you want to write it down in a little small book and put that in a mason jar or something. It's a great, just a little humor there. Wind up clocks. Waterproof clocks, waterproof watches. Your battery operated clocks and watches and other time tell instruments are someday not going to work, because a wind up clock helps a lot. What I'm saying, it's better than using a sundial. So let's face it, I had waterproof watches and stuff, and the light goes out but it still keeps on ticking for a while, and eventually it stops. But those wind up clocks, whoa, they stay around quite a while. Excuse me, this is a big lengthy list here. There's plastic storage containers, Ziploc bags, Tupperwares, Rubbermaid, anything that can seal air seal something, all sizes, what I'm saying? Air seal, that's pretty much keep water out, Okay, how many more I got over here? I got sticky notes used to label what you can have after disaster. Secure it better with Scotch tape if you want lots of uses. Leave notes for others, and there's oh, thank God, it's just 2 more. Okay, safe for your cash. I don't know how good that would do. But you might want to hide it, because you're going to have a lot of looters. Safe for your cash. Cash may be the only thing to buy anything immediately after disaster. Good for holding silver and gold coins too. Especially if it's a tornado. I can imagine your safe go flying up in the air and shooting in somebody else's backyard, making somebody else happy. Well, a little safety box does come in handy. I wouldn't want to carry around some little 300-pound safe or nothing like that, but a little safety box does come in handy. Carry it with you. There's a heavy duty top, many sizes and inexpensive, and can I improvise how many uses these things have, and can be folded up and stored in small places be sure to look for heavy duty. Yeah, you can do a lot of use with heavy top. Okay guys, this is a lengthy list. I'm gonna summarize up what I just said, because chances are you probably didn't pick up half of the things I said. I was going real fast. Okay, that's toilet paper, paper towels, coffee filters, trash bags, zip type freeze bags, coolers, shovels, soap and cleansers. Again, that's soap and cleansers, sponges, and other stretchy pads, cottons, paper to write on, pencils and pens. Okay, there's rubber bands, there's tape, kind of duct tape, sewing kits, matches, salt. Okay, there's aluminum foil wraps, there's candles, there's can openers, there's basic tools, there's handyman hardware assortments, 5-gallon gas can containers, round magnifying glass. Okay, and there's envelopes, boxes, shoelaces, paper plates, plastic eating utensils, disposable drinking cups. There's blankets, sheets, pillows, pillowcases. Okay, I'm halfway through with it. Towels, fish line. There's nylon ropes, cord, clotheslines, toothbrushes, dental needs, dental floss, Q-tips, cotton swabs, honey, trigger spray bottles, first aid kits. Okay, and there's also fire starters or newspapers. Again, there's safety pins, sunglasses, hats, gloves, extra clothes, small handheld mirrors, clothes, grocery tote bags. That's cloth grocery tote bags. Sorry. And what else there is on this list? Thank God it's almost over. This is a lengthy list, but once you got everything, you'll be a-okay. Okay. All right. I believe I just said sunglasses, hats, gloves, extra clothes, small handheld mirrors, clothes, grocery tote bags. Sorry. Please forgive me. I'm just reciting over again. So yeah, there's a lengthy list here. Staplers with plenty of staples, extension cords, brushes, tape measures, measuring tools, rulers. Also, there's games like simple card decks, board games. There's survival books, that can help out. There's wind-up clocks, because battery operated clocks and watches might not be working. And I'm almost at the end of the list here, guys, and I believe that is plastic storage containers, zip locks, Tupperwares, Rubbermaid, that is sticky notes, and there's secure better with Scotch tape if you want. There's safe for your cash, a little safe box. Don't go out and buy some 300 or 400, 500 pound safe there, okay? Get yourself a little one that you can carry around. And there's heavy duty top. Okay, guys, thank you for listening. This is a huge list. I'm sorry that it took this long. You have a great day.